He's from.
Dear God, this is going to be a bad episode.
Have you felt it?
Why? Just because we started with that?
Hello, what have we here?
Yup. Probably a podcast.
So funny.
Hello.
Check.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Dickhead.
Hello there.
I'm going to say that every time. I don't care.
Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Fucking A right. What's up? I didn't do it. It's okay. Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. I am Mobar.
I am Commander Cody.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 81.
We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who is tuning in live with us on Twitch. Last week, we took a week off from the live stream, and now we're back. So thanks for being here.
It's true.
Always encourage you to chime in, yell at us, tell us to fuck off, and give us some topics to discuss. It's always fun.
Yes. And we want to thank the people that are live on Twitch with us. So
I just said that.
that's why I'm pointing them out again.
Hey!
Yeah. So if you're listening after the fact, we do it live. We aim for 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. So you can join us live. Let's move on to the beer
Get right
review.
into it.
Yeah,
We've been so eager to start it
So
every episode recently.
You talk about it.
Oh, I have to talk?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good at talking.
Long trail.
It is autumn, so we're, with the exception of last week, which was kind of strange, we're going for Oktoberfest, autumn beers, harvest beers, pumpkin shit, that kind of thing. So we randomly spotted this. It's a Harvest Barn Ale. Oh, the bottle opener's in the Iron Man cup again. Go get it, Mobar. Putting you to work. Long Trail Brewing Company. It's a Harvest Barn Ale. I'm assuming they just made Barn Ale up. I don't think that's an actual thing, but it's whatever. I've never heard of Long Trail, and I've only had one Harvest Ale in my life before, and it was at a beer tasting 2 weeks ago. I'm a gang. We talked about it. And this is from Vermont. And obviously it's a seasonal because it's a Harvest Ale, and we're in fucking harvest season. So Harvester of Sorrow.
We've been doing the podcast for 2+ years, going on 3 this winter.
January.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
So we've gone through a fuck ton. One full fuck ton of beer. So we try to look for breweries that we haven't had before, and it's kind of getting difficult. So,
Yeah.
which is fine because then we'll just start going back through the breweries that we've had and just doing different stuff that they have.
There's
So,
no real rhyme or reason
fine.
to it. Just try to change it up as often as possible.
Let's do the pour test. Pours like liquid.
Well, I can still pour, so it passes.
I can.
Always try to get a decent amount of head on there, just to release some of the aromas. Although, you know what? When I've been at tastings and stuff, there's no tilt, there's no method. They're just like, here's your beer.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Well,
There it
they
is.
don't. It's not that bad, but something like that.
Whew. This smells a lot darker than I expected.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not expect that at all. When I saw Harvest, I thought
It does say
Harvest and kind of in Farmhouse are kind of in that they're lighter. They're kind of like more Belgian. They just kind of have all like the mash and wheat and barley and stuff all in there because it's a Harvest. It's from my understanding. I am not an expert, so.
Yeah, they're just saying harvest comes once a year, so raise a glass and celebrate to the growing season. This is only 4.4%.
Don't they mean the harvesting season?
Yeah, the harvest.
They said,
Harvest comes once a year,
and then
so raise a glass and drink it.
I'm over it.
There's no real description. Oh, here it is on the top of the label. Malt forward barn ale with a bit of Vermont maple syrup in the kettle. Hang up the wheat scythe and celebrate the season's sweet bounty. Long trail. Okay, interested. It's like I said, it's a lot thicker, but it is only 4.4%. I can smell the fucking syrup now.
Yep.
Scissor.
Yeah. It smells like a syrupy stout.
All right.
Cheers, Test.
I got a much bigger gulp than I expected. It's not as thick that I expected.
It's not that thick, no, and it's a little more tame on the carbonation, kind of like a like a nitro beer.
Yeah.
It's not a nitro beer, obviously, but it's kind of a mix. Tastes a little flat, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of part of the profile there.
Wow. It's got a much stronger smell than it does taste, even though there's still a lot there. But yeah, that's. Oop! Did I press the button?
Mm-mm.
Did I press the button?
No.
Fucked it up again.
Stop touching shit. Mopar's not allowed to touch any devices in the room, except for the beer. And even then, I'm iffy.
I'm holding a mic. Broke it. I'm not gonna say much about it. I'm not exploding out of my loins, so
Neither am I, actually.
it's
It doesn't
it's like a
have like
flatline beer. It smells a lot heavier than it tastes, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot that it offers, but it's not bad.
I'm trying to just.
Absolutely no bitterness. It's
I'm searching for something.
18 IBUs, so it's not bitter at all.
4.4%. Super low.
So
man.
super low, super
like Budweiser
unflavorable,
volume.
but if you pour it on your carpet, you're gonna smell it for weeks. So
Pour it on your fucking pancakes. That maple syrup that's in there.
actually, have you ever had beer cakes? In my fraternity, we would go around. We would keep excess beer. Like we'd all be hammered. We'd all put like, I'm not gonna finish this. We'd put it aside.
Sounds gross.
We all pass out. We would cook with it the next morning.
sounds.
It was fucking amazing.
That sounds gross.
It was
Here's
amazing.
all my backwash. I'm gonna put it into a pancake.
Well, you would have to make sure. Like if they're empty, throw them out. But if you're like sipping on one and you're about to pass out, just like I'm not gonna finish that one. So it's a little less spit.
Only a quarter backwash.
A quarter
Yeah, this is
backwash.
not. It's not bad, but it's not remarkable. That's for sure.
One.
Kind of upset. You know, I got an Amagang downstairs that I got purposely for like tomorrow night. I kind of want to just go grab that real quick.
And do that one instead.
Oh no, we didn't talk about this last episode. Me and Tommy Boy went to an Amagang tasting on Friday. You weren't able to make it. I'll chat about that for a second. I didn't realize until we did that Amagang is they're not from Belgium, but it's a Belgian brewery. Like the majority of the things that they do are Belgian beers with just a few exceptions, including most of the Game of Thrones stuff. And you've heard us rant and rave. Not a big Belgian fan. Jarno was cussing us out a few weeks ago. But Amagang stuff is all delicious. And after that tasting, I'm much more warmed up to the idea of Belgians. And I'm actually excited to try a few. So I got
that's
one
of the
downstairs.
most acquired taste beers. Like IPAs, that bitterness is hard to get over. But once you like the bitterness and understand,
You're obsessed.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever get used to that though. To the
Belgians? Or the
Belgians,
IPA?
it's a different taste. I don't know.
It's really
I've always
different.
enjoyed them, but it is a completely different taste. It's kind of like IBUs, IPAs, same thing.
Yeah. So I bet I'm warmed up to them, and I kind of want to go grab the one that's in my fridge right now and drink that. Not remarkable.
One, try it if you want. If you like bland beers, go try this shit. Actually, I'm not sure I would recommend this to anybody. Is this going to be our first zero in a long time? It's not doing anything for me. It's really low alcohol.
I feel like a zero is like, this is notably bad, and I don't even want to finish it. I'm gonna drink
This
the rest
tastes
of
like
these.
iced tea. It tastes like iced tea with a bit of maple syrup.
Harvest tea.
Maple harvest.
It's not a zero.
I don't know. Drink it more.
I mean, it's not that
It's
strong. It's
the car-
4%, man. You can like
I
chug
know.
these.
But the carbonation is, I think, saving it. It's keeping it a little more drinkable. I don't know, man.
Not that good.
Would never buy this again.
No, I never would either.
Zero.
But it's not making me vomit, so I don't
One-
think it's a zero. The chili. Think about the chili beer.
Yeah.
I hate it. I can't even finish it. That's a zero.
All right. I'm with you. I was trying to expand our out of ones and twos, and every once in a while 3.
Yeah, I know. But I know where you're going with it.
I agree with it.
With
All right.
0.5.
Yeah.
There are no halves. I refuse. Yeah.
And because I didn't, what I was doing when you guys went to the Gang thing, Me and a friend went to a PBR tournament, professional bull riding,
Do they serve
at the
PBR?
fairgrounds. It was fucking crazy.
Do they serve PBR?
No. It was like a Trump rally. It was weird. Because it was all like crazy and high-end horse stuff and the bull riding event. It was like, I forget the name of the whole thing, but there was like
Equestrian?
the show. Yeah, it was like the equestrian show of the year. And they just had one night was the bull riding like event. So we just went to that, but it was walking through like hundreds of thousands of trailers and all these like done up horse trailers. It's just the money is remarkable. It makes me feel so insignificant. You're walking through like, well, that horse is about $35,000. That's probably $100,000 horse, and they're in that trailer that's about $250,000 horse that has
just like
rims
going to
on
the
it.
fucking
That's
racetrack.
being pulled by the dually. That's $100,000. Yeah, it's just
like going to the racetrack.
money on money on money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. It was fucking crazy. But the bull riding part was intense. And my friend said she was just like, how much would it cost for you to get on one of those bulls? I was like, no. There's absolutely no way.
Nope.
The what?
I'm cool right now.
Those guys are good at it, and he just broke his back. So fuck that.
That's one of those like things like, how do you start and practice that?
Don't die.
I want to be it's like that's your dream your whole life when you're growing up as a kid, and it comes time for you to like, all right, you're gonna start your practice, your training for be a bull rider, and then you get on and you fucking get killed or something.
Well, he didn't make it. The
Or
team.
like you get paralyzed like right away on your first try. Like that would be, God.
Yeah,
That'd be
there was a, you know what's funny is there was 2 or 3 riders, cowboys, that were doing really well, and they were all from outside the United States. Every single one. There was
Like
like
from
a
Mexico?
what?
Mexico?
No, they were all like South American. Like there was a guy from Brazil.
Well, that's close. I would feel like to their culture. Of South American with the bull fighting and everything.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Portuguese, Brazil. It's all the same language, at least.
No. Well, Portuguese and Brazil are, but
Yeah.
Mexico is not.
Right.
But that's what I was going for, like the bull fighting and everything.
Yeah, that's southwestern bull ride shit. But yeah, it was interesting. We didn't stay long because we thought we were going to get stabbed because we were clearly poor.
I'm so pissed at this beer.
I can feel your anger.
So fucking mad. This beer could turn me to the dark side.
It has so much. Well, it doesn't have a lot of potential.
No, it has no
Because just looking
potential.
at it, there's like no alcohol in
The
it.
label had potential. That was it. Made me
This-
buy it.
I mean, if I was a hiker on a trail and I got lost and just got attacked by a bear, I might have one of these beers. Maybe that's what they were going
attacked
for.
by a beer.
I would fight it. I don't know. What color beer is it? Because you're either supposed to play dead with black and run from brown. No.
No, I think it's the opposite. Wait, no.
You're supposed to.
I think you're right.
You're supposed to play dead with the black.
Blacks are more aggressive, so you stay.
No.
You play dead.
No.
And grizzlies are usually looking for like trash and shit, and they
Nope.
don't really care.
Opposite.
I feel like I just heard Rogan
Black-
talk about this earlier today.
Brown bears are the more aggressive. Kodiak bears are fucking insane. The little black bears that are around like New York, they don't do anything. You could probably
I don't
run
know.
at a black bear and it'd run away as long as the cubs aren't there.
Well, yeah,
They don't get
that's
that
a big
big.
factor.
Brown bears are fucking insane.
It's a big factor. Having their little babies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pissed. I'm still drinking it, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, it's slowly slipping to a 0.3 from 0.5.
0.03.
The odds of Commander liking his beer is 1. No.
3,721. Well, if you do remember the chili beer, we did say 1. Like, oh, this is pretty interesting.
And as we drank it.
And as we drank it, it was a 0. So
If this wasn't cold, undrinkable.
after I pound all these, we'll see how bad it tastes.
I forgot my feelings.
They forgot to put fucking feeling in the beer. That's what it tastes like.
4.4 is noticeably light, though.
Oh, yeah. Super light.
Like an average light beer is probably 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
Like a PBR, I believe,
We'll
is
try
5. That's insane. I'm pissed that you're pissed, and we're all pissed, and join the dark side.
God damn it.
All
right. Let's talk about some news real quick. We've been wanting to do news for like a few episodes, but we just always forget. Usually because the beer is really good and we can't pull ourselves away from it to talk about this.
Well, you're having trouble pulling away from it right now. I fucking hate this. I can't believe
Guys, I want to discuss this beer in more detail. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's do
There
it.
was some decent news that came out today, or this week. Force Awakens is coming out with a collector's edition Blu-ray. So a few episodes ago, we were talking about like, why aren't there more deleted scenes? Why isn't there more commentary or behind the scenes shit? So they're releasing a totally new Blu-ray. It's going to have a whole new set of deleted scenes and commentary from J.J. Abrams and all that fun stuff. So just like Star Wars is known to do, you buy it when it comes out, and then a year later, you get to buy it again for more stuff. So big things, though, is the J.J. commentary, because that was not on the first one. So people are freaking out about, there's a few clips that have been like released as teasers about him commenting about Kylo killing Han on the bridge, stuff like that. So people are just geeked to find that. And then the other big thing is
why wouldn't they? That pisses me off.
Star Wars money, cash.
I know,
cash,
but that's like you said. It was dumb that they wouldn't put it on the original Blu-ray.
That's just how they do it, man.
That
whatever.
that fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like if I buy the Blu-ray, I should get all of your commentary because that's the whole fucking point of the Blu-ray. I know it looks great, but we already know that. Give me the extra shit. Especially for a Star Wars movie. The making, I watched the entire extra scenes. I was just like, that's it? They kind of just like bickered back and forth a little bit. They didn't actually go into how they made it and
They
what.
were interesting, but I was not like amazed.
Just like we thought, you know what we did? We put a circle, and then we put a circle on top. That's BB-8. Done. And that was like a whole scene. I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck that you drew an 8 on a board and put eyeballs on it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
They're saving. You know, think about this. They came out with the Blu-ray special editions like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. All the special features on that were new special features. And these are movies that have already been out for 30 years. So, like, it's not like they don't have the content. They're just going to kind of keep repurposing it. And
Off that, I watched a video this week, and it compared the 77 to the 99 version to the 2011 version of A New Hope. And they did them for the original 3. And it was like, holy shit. Some of it was like, why? And then the other stuff was like...
just quality.
Obviously, the 2011 one's just stunning compared to that shit.
Right.
Like, the Jabba scene
Yeah.
in the 99, God, no.
Not 99. It was like 95, I think.
I think it was 99.
That's the year Phantom Menace came out.
Yep.
No. Special.
But it looked like a dude in like with a brown towel over his head, and they just cut eyeballs off, and he's ho 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 ho. No solo. That was my best job. I thought it was
Not bad. Not opposed to it.
2 out of 3.
Not opposed to it. All right. Let's... Hang on. I want to see this. I'm going to look, and if you're on Twitch, you can see what we're looking at right now.
Darth in the chat room said they will also be a 3D version. And we've mentioned that, and a lot of people don't realize they were going to release 3D versions of all the episodes in theaters, and they did episode 1,
Yep.
and it was a nightmare. No one went.
Exactly.
And they stopped it right then and there.
I was actually excited about that. It's like, it's not going to be a joy to sit through Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones in the theater, but to see them in 3D, I think would be at least fun. And as Star Wars fans, we were going to like fucking...
Well, the issue
whatever.
is that they didn't film it in 3D. I think they filmed Force Awakens in 3D, so they like prepared for it.
That makes a lot more sense, yeah.
97.
97?
Well, so we split the difference. You said 95?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to remember... when they re-released
Did you
it,
remember yet?
I can't remember. When they re-released it, that's the first one that I saw in theaters, actually. But I was young enough that I don't remember it 100%. So I was thinking it was early, like 95 or something like that. And I was just like, had no idea. But it is what it is. And I see what you mean there about the changes that they made. And I was saying a while back that when we were talking about we want an unaltered. By unaltered, I just mean get rid of the extra fucking Rontos. get rid of all those stupid changes and like Obi-Wan's Crate Dragon Scream, but still update the thing so it looks good.
Let me say something.
No.
Because they did the Obi-Wan Scream in that video that I watched.
Yeah.
All three of them were a fucking nightmare.
Well, they're all three bad.
I can't believe they made him sound, and it changes every time. And each one, well, the first one's like him drunk coughing, like, and then the second one he does it a whoop, and then the third one it does like that backwards. Yeah. But it's like they're all a nightmare. Obi-Wan would never do any of that except for the drunk cough. Yeah, I guess you got him right on that. But it just sounded terrible all throughout.
Hey, motherfuckers, get out of here.
Hey, you kids! Get out of my lawn! Yeah, it was just... When I watched that, I thought this is going to get worse and worse as I watch these, and it was just all bad throughout. So, the one that really fucking bothered... The dewbacks, unless it like walks like in front of the scene, that pisses me off. If it's in the background not doing a lot, it's fine with me. Like the... Look, sir, droids. They added like a whole...
In the back, sure.
Half scene of that, and they kind of... scroll in or whatever you want to pan in, and it looks great, and there's like mountains in the background that they added and looks fucking awesome.
The issue is though in like 6 where they do a whole shot that is 100% CGI and it's just so glaringly obvious.
And they didn't smooth it out at all. The one that in the 2011 version that I fucking hate is when R2-D2's when Obi-Wan does the scream, R2-D2's sitting there and they added those rocks.
Why? It's pointless.
1, why? 2, why? And 3, how did he get back there? Like originally it was just like a hole that he got in.
Right.
And it looks like this now.
And the rocks come so far ahead, there's like a 6-inch gap that he could not fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
He had to fucking...
How does he get in and out of there?
himself down to like
just
snail into there.
Oh, there's no reason for that. It does kind of look stupid without him because he's
not
just
hidden. Right.
There's nothing in front of him. He's just like he does the Leia.
It's whatever. Yeah.
Hey, don't shoot me.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh goodness. Grip in the chat room says, I'm pretty sure that the more you look at that beer, the odds of it tasting better don't change. For this one, unfortunately, you are correct.
I don't know. Let me think about it. I hate it even less.
Our ability to rate this beer is diminished. Last thing about the Blu-ray, and one of the main reasons that I want to see it is because the main deleted scene that everyone's excited about, and this is in the novel, is when Unkar Plutt traces the Falcon to Maz Kanata's palace, confronts Rey, and Chewbacca stands up for her. They showed a teaser of this scene, but they didn't show the whole thing. But what Sparks was saying on episode 78 or whatever, he rips fucking Unkar Plutt's arm off.
That's kind of dumb. I'm glad they deleted that.
They might not even have put that in the scene.
Does he beat him at Pazak or whatever the fuck, Space Chess first?
Space Chess.
Because that's the only thing they were referring to. He'll tear a droid's arm off. Unkar Plutt.
Yeah.
Arm off.
Other new stuff. Ahsoka novel obviously came out. We talked about that a little bit. It actually, I just saw today, it made #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. So, almost every book now is like, New York Times bestseller list. But it actually was #1 on the list. Star Wars fans fucking went crazy, bought the shit. Everyone loves Ahsoka.
She's a cool character. Like you said, she's the coolest character.
Shouldn't have existed.
Never should have existed.
No offense, I love you. And then part of that book, it's kind of a spoiler, but not really, because everyone's been talking about it and freaking out. And Butterclone brought this up to us over the week. They changed the canon story of how red lightsabers come into existence. I didn't even know there was a story. The only thing I knew was fucking KOTOR.
You just make them red.
You're a Jedi, pick your path. Here's yellow, green, and blue. Or you can go into the cave and kill the Kinrath and just grab one out of a fucking egg and stick it in your lightsaber. Now you're a fucking evil Sith.
Well, it was almost just like a designation of what type of Jedi.
I think it was a game mechanic more than anything. But I didn't think it needed an origin. Like when Luke makes his before 6, is there a reason it's green? Or is he just like, it's green this time, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a story.
Well, you said it's something about the Jedi have a connection with the Kyber crystals that they use. The Sith don't have that same connection, so something's connection's broken and the blade bleeds.
Yeah. Like basically, in order to get the crystal, they have to steal it from a Jedi that they've killed.
Oh, there is no connection between the Sith and the crystal.
Correct.
But Jedi have a connection with them, so they can find them and use them.
The crystal
to their,
calls to them. Yeah.
So yeah, like you said,
And Sith don't have it, so they just steal it, which is awesome.
But why does Anakin have a blue one when he turns Darth Vader in episode 3?
I actually saw somebody talking about that, and they brought up like,
Takes a while for it to bleed out.
well, no, not even that. Anakin, he had already built that lightsaber,
So
so the crystal had already.
called to him.
It's already part of him, pretty much.
So if you fall to the dark side,
Life.
I don't know. I think it
don't
was
think
just
it needs
he's
a
the chosen
fucking
one, so there's no rules.
I don't think it needs a story,
Just right.
but I think it does partly apply to why Ahsoka has white lightsabers in Rebels, because she's neutral now.
Ooh, okay. Do you think those are her original lightsabers from when she left? I mean, she used to have two, so I don't know.
Don't know.
I haven't really
I haven't read
compared the
the book,
hilts.
That's just a highlight that everybody's talking about. And last thing, something that I know nothing about. There's new cards and new art being released for the Topps Star Wars trading card game, which
Trading card series. I don't think
series.
it's a game.
It's not a game. It's just a collectible card. There's a app on your phone too for it. I honestly I know nothing about it, but
A lot of podcasts get paid.
yeah,
those
I've heard
card
ads.
games.
Yeah, I've heard ads on other Star Wars shows. So Topps, if you're paying attention,
Oh.
better focus up.
Or we should probably just fill out a form and we get $3.
Drunk people buy extra
month.
cards,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Speaking of Vader, so what I did was I did a lot of research, and I got to give a shout out to Stupendous Wave on YouTube, who will be a guest starring on the episode somewhat soon, maybe a couple of weeks, few weeks,
2 weeks, I believe.
2 weeks. If you haven't checked him out on YouTube, go do it. He goes into the coolest questions and in-depth wonders of the Star Wars universe. And the one that I watched that really inspired me to do more research about Vader was the title was something to the effect of "Why did Sidious limit Vader?" And he did it so many different ways, and the most relevant one was his suit.
What do you mean by limit?
So Anakin
Limit.
was the chosen one.
Yeah.
Palpy found out about Anakin and just assumed that dude was created by the Force. He's gonna outdo everything. I better get him as an apprentice, train him, and then he's gonna be the one to kill me and take over and take my reign to the next level. So he does that. Everything goes fucking perfectly until Obi-Wan chops his shit off and he is left on Mustafar dying. And at that point, Palpy thought about leaving him there and just letting him die. And regardless, moving on, he assumed that he wasn't going to be his apprentice.
Where'd that info come from, though?
Stupendous, he cites it all. It's
Okay.
in his stuff. And most of it's in Rise of Darth Vader, and I actually audiobooked that this week.
Which is not canon.
I know. But most of what he's talking about is not canon because
Right,
all the cool stuff is not canon.
Yeah, they got rid of all the fun stuff and just talked about fucking Ezra for a year.
But they talked about the Vader suit particularly and how it, quote, was as much of a torture device as it was armor. So it'll do a lot of, you can do a lot of damage to him, but he put in built-in weaknesses like it's specifically weak against lightning. Clearly because if...
Just in case.
Yeah. So it just done. Static electricity. Don't wear your socks on the carpet in the dookie room.
Get those fucking balloons out of here.
Get those balloons out. Yeah, so it's particularly weak against lightning. What's funny is it chafes him, constantly rubs all over and it just opens sores and bleeds on the inside.
Jesus.
And it's just living hurts. Like I said, it's a torture device just as much. And Palpy really thought that would just limit him and he would use him until he would find a new apprentice. That was Palpy's thought.
It's interesting, though.
But with everything, all that hatred and all that...
Made him stronger.
It fueled him.
Yeah. Backfired on Palpy.
It didn't really backfire. He just kept backpedaling, just I'm going to choose that guy because he's strong. Oh, Vader killed him too. Well, I'll choose these 9 guys. Oh, Vader annihilated all. And Vader kept passing tests and just in from Sidious's point of view, when Obi-Wan beat him on Mustafar, he lost his potential. And he put him in this suit, just kind of keep him alive for now, made him look evil, and it's armor, and he looks cool, and he actually can kill Jedi with it. So go do that while I focus on finding another apprentice.
That makes sense, actually. But from your perception, like, he is kind of
He's
ruined.
weak. He's not what he planned to be.
Right.
He fucked up. Oh, and when Sidious found out that Obi-Wan beat him, his suit was supposed to be a punishment because you fucked up. You were supposed to beat Obi-Wan, so here's this bullshit. And it was Vader talks about this in Rise of Darth Vader.
That's fucking
It was already
brutal.
obsolete technology. It was like 30-year-old technology, the same stuff that Grievous was built out of. It was like the
Wow.
same droids built Grievous. So that's why Vader, being so technologically like advanced,
Yeah.
he's a mechanic. He's a fucking, I know what this shit is and blah, blah, blah. Putting on rusty used parts, this sucks. What's the warranty?
Scrapyard suit.
But it gets to the point where he gets so beat up, I'm wondering why Vader doesn't just fix himself. That was my question. So, they cut off my arm. Well, I'll just, there it is. There's a brand new one and it will never fall off.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it kind of sounds like Sidious is in control of Vader's like actions and thoughts.
Never.
Never. So you can't.
He plays with him. He
Yeah.
uses him as a puppet, but he's never in his head.
But there's just plot holes where, like, if Vader hated the suit that much, I mean, you're the maybe third strongest motherfucker in the galaxy. Just go fucking buy a suit for 10,000 Dateris. It doesn't matter. And just build yourself whatever you want.
But at that point, Sidious would know that you're going to be challenging him, and he would just zap you. Two,
No,
I don't
just
know.
fly away off to Tatooine or whatever the fuck in the Outer Rim. And
I think Sidious kept him alive with the dark side while the suit was being putting on. Because, okay, let me go through.
yeah, but once that's over with, you could just change your clothes.
No, you can't. He takes his suit off. That's his life support system. He hears, sees, shits. I'm not kidding. Shits, breathes, all
All
of it.
in that same suit.
Oh yeah, he's got hearing. His ears burned off. His inner ears were gone. So they're like tied in Bluetooth to his brain. His eyes are all fucked up, and they like drop water droplets on him. So because he can't blink because his eyelids are gone. It's all fucked up.
Wow.
He doesn't breathe. That's what that thing is. It's breathing for him. So like when it
That's
gets to the
intense.
point that Vader passes all the tests.
That makes it a lot cooler.
Yeah. Well, that's what just seeing him move, you're just like cringing, like at all this agony. Because so the quote in the book is he has a meeting with Palpy. He gets out of it. He starts walking to wherever. And he's walking. He says, this isn't walking, because these are just fake legs and this isn't me, blah, blah, blah. And then he hears his chest beeping. He's like, this isn't hearing. I'm like a robot hearing shit, and everything's muffled, and it sounds like I'm underwater. That's what everything sounds muffled. He says, this isn't seeing. He sees some guys hanging out, and he's like, everything's red. I can't see anything. It's limiting my eyesight.
Right.
And he gets to the point where he says, this isn't living, ... And it's like, damn, dude.
That's
damn.
it, man.
I do want to get into one small conversation because Sidious was poking the bear a little too
How I
much.
spoke to bear.
Well,
It kind
no,
of makes when his helmet comes off at the end of 6 a little less awesome once you hear that. And the reveal at the end of Jedi is just like this old fucking frosted donut.
yeah.
That's
Like,
it.
you fell in baby powder? What the fuck are you doing over here?
That's it.
Is that flame retardant? Because this shit's going to blow the fuck up.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I agree. But it also gives me more appreciation for what he does when he's in his suit.
Oh, God, yes.
And in The Rise of Darth Vader, when he's still kind of bumbling around and figuring his shit out, it's amazing what he does against, like, there's 6 Jedi that attack him at the same time. Only one of them was a Padawan. It was 6 Jedi Masters and a Padawan. And he, like, chokes 3 of them as he fucks up the other 2. And basically everyone dies except the apprentice. And he's like, bitch, you better start running.
Or
You know what the fuck I'm
join
gonna do?
up.
And she attacks him, and he literally said, I used my wrist just to kind of like play with her. And then she figured out, oh, you're not even trying. And he's like, well, I saw you were pretty pissed there. You want to get more pissed and figure your shit out and come with me?
It's the real path.
So there's still 2 more things I want to get into about that. Let me get into, so pre-suit Vader, Anakin.
Yeah.
He's on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Padme's there.
Yeah.
He chokes her and he's talking to her. Right before Obi-Wan presents...
Sir, and he's talking to her.
Hey, listen.
Why'd you fucking say anything? Come on.
Talk to me when I'm choking to you. Choking to you. But his plan there was not to just annihilate the Jedi. He already did that for certain reasons. There's a lot of people think it was only to make Sidious happy.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing it for his own reasons. Because he wanted to save Padme. He really did want to save Padme.
Well, yeah, that's the main goal.
And he needed that power from Sidious. So the Jedi attacking Sidious, if they were successful, Anakin's plan's done. So he had to go kill all the Jedi, and then he was going to go learn this thing, save Padme, and then kill Sidious. That was his plan. And he truly wanted to rule the galaxy with Padme at his side, make things how we want them to be. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
It's kind of cool because they do mention that a little bit in episode 2. It's not like crazy in depth, but she's kind of talking to him when they're on that lawn in front of the waterfalls about like what his idea is of like the political system and all that.
Yeah.
And he kind of freaks out. He's like, well, I would just be a dictator and make everybody do whatever the fuck I wanted. But that is kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. It's like, Padme is a politician. She does love the people. She knows what she's doing. So that would make sense that he wants to kind of, husband and wife this shit and make everyone happy.
He was a little more
Make
Dooku.
the galaxy great again.
He was a little more Dooku than we all expected. We just thought he was a rabid dog under Sidious, and he actually had his own plan.
I wish we got to actually see that, though.
He didn't get to it because he got mad, choked her, and then Obi-Wan came out and just attacked him immediately.
But it would have been cool.
He said, my new, your new empire, but he really did mean it. Anakin was like, this is going to be mine.
No.
If you don't try to kill me or Sidious, dude, join the party.
Right.
You just can't bang her.
I think Obi-Wan's probably gay anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we obviously couldn't see that because it didn't end up happening, but I wish we would have gotten to understand more about what Anakin was thinking in his head.
Well, that's hard to do in a movie.
I know, but that's
why I like that
complaint about he just all of a sudden, okay, all right, I'll kill all the Jedi.
He talks to himself while he's talking to Sidious in that book, and the audiobook does a great job because he does the Lord Sidious, blah, 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 I'm going to do this, and then you hear it in a normal voice because it's Anakin talking now because he's talking in his own voice.
Nice.
And he says some shit, and Sidious picks up on it. He's like, you don't have to think to yourself like that. I can hear you. Basically what happens...
I can hear you thinking?
Yeah. So I guess he's in his head a little bit.
That's awesome. That's crazy.
I mean, I think anyone can do that. If Yoda's sitting there and you're talking to him, I'm pretty sure you can hear your thoughts.
Oh, I thought you meant like when Vader's on his own, just thinking. Sidious is like listening on his thoughts.
No, Anakin was talking, or Vader was talking to himself in a conversation. Like, Palpatine, I did this, and I'm like, I shouldn't have told him that. And then Sidious is just like, dude, why didn't you tell me that? It's like, shit.
Sidious.
Yeah, Sidious is a fuck.
I gotta read Plagueis, man.
So
I can't wait.
So Vader talks back.
Yeah.
He's knelt down.
Yeah.
Sidious is like pacing back and forth, saying, "You let these Jedi go, leave and escape. Why the fuck? You're supposed to be the fucking badass bitch over here."
Right.
And Vader's like, "Well, if you didn't, blah blah blah, I would have fucking caught him." And he basically blaming everything on the suit. He's like, "I can't fucking move, and you want me to kill things?"
Old man.
And Sidious gets Vader's still on his knees, and Sidious gets right up on him and says, if you ever fucking talk back to me like that again, you're weak, and your electrical whatever stuff components would just fry under lightning. And he holds his hands out like he's gonna do it, and Vader stands up knelt stands up right at him when he's up, and he looks down because he's towering over Sidious, and he just says, "I don't fear death." And Sidious at that point says, it goes into Sidious's mind. He's like, I haven't felt something like this in a long time. And what I felt was fear. was like, dude, you are fucking afraid of Vader. Stop poking that bear.
Dude.
Yeah, he stands up right there, looks down at him, and says, I'm not afraid of death. Fucking do something.
That's legit. That's amazing.
The two butting heads.
To think that Vader is running, he's basically like the enforcer of the Empire.
He's the general.
Of the
everything.
Empire. And he's the second strongest person in the galaxy, pretty much, that we know of. And
we
he's
don't
cut
know
in
that.
half because he's weak, because of his suit.
We don't know.
He's at half strength and he's running shit.
Well, that's why
ridiculous.
Sidious, when he got chopped in half, Sidious was like, oh, I need to find a new one of those because that one's broken. So he goes off and tries to find other apprentices, and Vader just keeps living.
Little did he know, 50% Vader is still like 90% everything else.
There was, and this was Legends even before like Legends came about, but there was talk about Darth Vader, pre-suit Vader was like 200% the power, even untrained, of Sidious. And when he got chopped, it took like 80% of his power away or something ridiculous, and he was still 80% of what Sidious was. And that was like before he was trained. So he had so much more potential. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
So ridiculous.
even as he grows as suited Vader,
Yeah.
he can still. He kept proving Sidious wrong. You're gonna fail on this, and he comes raging out of some shit.
Dude, that's
I'm not afraid of death. Do something.
all right. So that's amazing. Let's speculate wildly about things. What do you think Vader would have been stronger if he had been taken from an earlier age and trained?
No,
You think his
he needs to be fueled by that.
upbringing
Yeah,
fuels him more than anything else?
absolutely. It makes him appreciate shit too. Because you got to think, as a Jedi, you know, he grew up as a slave and had nothing. And then when he gets all these clones that are like behind him, he's like, I need to save every one of these.
And it drives him to
Him to be better.
Yeah.
And he puts himself into terrible situations, but he always comes out on top because he's so strong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sacrifice myself, a general in the Clone Wars, for this one clone. And that's why Obi-Wan gets pissed. Like, stop. He's there to sacrifice himself. He's there for the war. That's what they're made for. He's like, I don't fucking care.
That is one little nuance that they actually do show in the movie. In the beginning of 3, when they're the little space battle at the intro, all the Arc 170s start getting blown up, and he's like, I'm going back for them.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan says, what does he say?
They're doing their
They
job.
are doing their job so we can do ours.
And he's right.
Have you noticed the shields are still up?
Sorry, that's done.
That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think...
All right, so what I just said, that it's amazing how strong Vader is, and he's at half potential. On the flip side, don't you think the suit and his pissed off rage is upping his potential even more?
absolutely, it's fueling him.
So he's kind of, I feel like
More powerful.
pre-suit, agile, mobile, awesome Anakin is just as strong as suited, pissed off, crippled Anakin. Because on one hand, he has the skills and the mobility. On the other hand, he has just
The drive,
rage and
the will.
and the will. Yeah.
And the fire
So
and
it
the
kind of
energy.
just, I'm cut in half, but I'm so pissed that I'm just right back where I was.
He just he switched potentials. It's
Yeah.
not that he's more or he's stronger one way or the other.
Yeah.
I can't use Force Lightning, but I can choke you from across the galaxy because my fucking nipple's been chafing for the last 2 weeks and I'm getting pissed. But that's honestly it.
No, yeah.
Now it's kind of like, this is what I put it as. It's kind of like if someone goes blind. What happens? Their other senses get stronger.
Daredevil.
Exactly. But think about it. Like, Anakin was, over all of his 5 senses, he was strong.
Six
and he
with the Force.
gets his 6. Yeah, I'll accept that answer. You get your mobility cut off. You can't do anything. Everything's burned. All of your senses are limited, and then his force sense skyrockets.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just
so true.
fueled. Yeah,
It's
so
true.
It's not even a give and take. It's just different levels of stuff. So, did you know
Oh.
when Vader actually proves to Sidious that, okay, he might be the one to take my place? He finally got to that point after like fucking with him for like 20 years straight, burning his tips and shit.
Burnt tips.
He basically just said, okay, you're going to be the one. I tell you what, we're going to get you a new suit. We obviously have the money. We're going to get you a suit so you can live to your potential. And it's going to like heal you. It's not going to keep you in constant pain. You're going to be super agile. Everything's going to be super lightweight, strong. You're going to be a fucking demon on wheels, basically. And Vader says no. And that enrages Sidious. He's like, what the fuck? I doubted you for all this time. And when I finally come to the point that said, okay, I'm getting old. Not as strong. And you've been proving yourself for 20, 30 years. Here's a new suit. And you said no. And he fucking freaks. And that
he likes to rage.
2 weeks later, he finds out that Luke Skywalker is a thing. And he's like, you know what? Never mind. You go do your own fucking thing. That's my new apprentice. So he goes after Luke.
Yeah.
And he kind of forgets about Vader's potential, and that's how, like, oh, I'm going to throw you down this chute. Yeah, bitch.
Dude, he is a dick.
Sidious.
I will say. Yeah. Yeah, So I picked up some of the Vader comics, the new ones, from the local comic shop, Laughing Ogre, which is actually a really cool shop. We should go. That Space Ghost little pop.
I need to get that.
You have to get that. Yeah. I didn't even know they had Space Ghost. I want a Brack one. Anyways, yeah, Laughing Ogre in Columbus. But no, I didn't know comic books, like the individual issues, were $1.
Yeah, because they're so short.
I never knew about comic books at all.
It's like a scene. You're buying. That's all you're doing.
It's
is
like
buying
a
scene.
first step in a larger world or whatever. But no, I bought a few of the Vader ones. The first one I read is issue 1 of the new Vader series, and it's right after episode 4. So as soon as the Death Star gets blown up, and it opens, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, it opens with him. He walks into Jabba's temple. He kills all the guards. Bib Fortuna freaks out and goes and wakes Jabba up. Vader walks in and he's like, I'm here a day early for our deal. Let's get shit going on. And Jabba talks back, which props to Jabba for standing up to fucking Vader. But then Vader says something along the lines of like, your mind tricks don't work on me, Jedi. And then Vader kills everyone in the room. And he's like, don't call me a fucking Jedi.
I read that. I don't remember him killing people.
Dude, yeah, everyone that was in the room, Jabba's like, look around. I have like guards and bounty hunters. And Vader just murders everyone. Don't call me a fucking Jedi. It was amazing. But then it goes back to him on Coruscant, and he's talking to Sidious, and Sidious is such an ass.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like, the Death Star has been operational for like a week, and you got it blown up by some idiot fucking farmer from a desert planet through the exhaust port, you jackass. And then Vader's just
yeah. I feel bad for Vader.
I feel bad for Vader, but I mean, at the end of the day, like,
it is Sidious. That's why he's there. He's done his time. He's done his planning. He's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
He paid his dues. And that's why you got to think that's why he put him in his limiting suit, because if Vader just lived strong as fuck when he got into these conversations, dude, why'd you blow up the shot? You just died.
Well, I also wonder to a certain extent if Sidious is being a dick on purpose because he knows it's going to make Vader pissed and in turn fuel him more and make him even stronger.
Well, he does do that. There's a scene in Rise of fucking Darth Vader. He sends Vader to, I think it's the Jedi Archives. He tells him to go retrieve something from the Jedi Archives.
Yeah.
And Vader gets there, and Tarkin's talking to him. He's like, wait, didn't you use him to kill all the Jedi at the Jedi Archive? Do you think that's a good idea? It's going to spark up some, like, emotion. And Sidious is like, you know what? It's a great idea because he's going to be more pissed when he gets back, and he's going to hate the Jedi even more, and he's going to be so sad and sorry. It's going to be great. And it's like, dude, you just putting your dude through fucking hell
On purpose.
to make him strong, which makes sense from his standpoint. But like, poor Vader's trying to do his own thing and plan and plot, but he's just not as conniving as Sidious is.
Right.
And clearly not as strong because he's somewhat limited.
He's trying to do the right thing and he just continually gets manipulated. I mean, if you think about it, he does kind of get manipulated by the Jedi.
So,
in terms of like how their training works.
Dude.
And like he gets indoctrinated as a Jedi, et cetera, to their religion.
oh
and
yeah, he's
everything.
like used by them. You're
Yeah.
the chosen one. Go do something.
But we also don't trust you, so
Right.
not on the.
So if you do something
master of the
wrong, we
council.
told you not to do that. so-
Exactly.
But
But if you do something right, good job. Keep doing more.
so I'm gonna morph this into a philosophical comparison.
It's morphin' time.
Think about what Sidious does to little boy Anakin and compare it to what the Joker did in The Dark Knight with Harvey Dent. In The Dark Knight. Takes your White Knight, the chosen one, the one who's bringing hope to the galaxy, and fucking turns them bad and attacks the city with that dude. It's exactly the same thing. Joker and Sidious, no wonder we fucking like them both.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the chosen one. He's gonna be the strongest thing ever. He's your White Knight. He's gonna be the hope of the city. Bup, done. What are you gonna do now? Well, shit. Everything comes crumbling down.
That's so
It's
perfect.
the same story. It's the same guys.
Same letters. It's the same guy. See, that's perfect, man.
I wonder. Yeah.
Speaking of,
Timeout.
I got a Joker poster right there. You guys can't see it. I'm sorry. We changed angles in the studio.
To put it up over
and if
there.
you're not watching live, you can't see shit. So
There was
wow,
one
that's
other
an awesome
thing.
comparison, man.
One other thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, so how Vader kills the remaining Jedi in The Dark Knight Rises. In The Dark Lord Rises.
And then in Rebels, apparently, as well.
So obviously we talked about the limitations and he's bumbling and stuff.
I didn't talk about that.
But it's from the point of view of the Padawan or the apprentice. She's a younger hoe. And there's 3 Jedi masters attacking Vader. And she kind of, from her point of view, says it's power against like dancing swords. And the dancing swords are getting cut in half. That's basically like to the point. Like they're all trying to do their forms and he's just cut in half, fuck you. And it's just done.
That's ridiculous, man.
And the most brutal thing, I don't think he kills anyone other than decapitating. Every single person in that book, he decapitates. And it's usually in front of people. And he's brutal about it. There was one that he caught a Jedi Master across the arm. Obviously, she's down. He like blocks and then cuts up at her. So like her body's cut. And he's still, as he's fighting, turns around and decapitates her in front of the other 2. And then just stares at him. And they're like, oh, she was already dead. What kind of monster are you? And he's like, fucking bring it. Do something. Oh,
if we don't see
I know
some epic
Rogue.
fucking madness in Rogue One, I'm gonna lose it. I'm wondering if they're leaving him out of the trailers so much just for obviously for hype, but also is he not gonna have a big role?
Well,
a lot of people are like, don't get too excited about Vader. He's just gonna pop in and be like, Krennic, you should be doing this, motherfucker. Get the plans. I'm gonna go chase the Tantive 4.
Well, I don't want it to be the Joker in Suicide Squad. You just every trailer was him laughing and laughing, then you saw him for 2 minutes, gone. You're like, wait.
The movie pissed me off.
He laughed for 2.5 minutes in the trailer, and he's only in it fucking 2 minutes.
I really, really hope we have a lot of Vader in Rogue One.
I think.
Just make the fanboys happy.
Well, what he does in that book, like even from like a general standpoint, like you guys go do this, I'll do this. It's gonna work out like this. Sidious he doesn't really limit Vader as far as plans. He just says, Vader, go kill the remaining Jedi. I don't give a flying hell how you do it. Just do it. So Vader just kind of comes up with all this stuff. You're going to come from over here. I know how you do it. You cloners come with blah, blah, blah. And we'll just corner him here. I'll blow the bridge up and stab him with the bridge. That happens at the end.
Stab him with the bridge.
There's the one.
I believe you. It just
there's
sounds
the
absurd.
one Jedi Master that is like they're following throughout the story, and
I'm
he
just
teams up.
picturing Magneto raising the Golden Gate
No,
Bridge.
that's
in
exactly
X-Men
what
3.
it was. They were on Kashyyyk, and this Jedi Master kept clipping him on the wrists and stuff because he was still slow, and they kind of figured him out. And he steps like onto a landing between the bridge is between 2 landings on Kashyyyk. So he steps one step back and he starts he puts his lightsaber down
Tearing the bridge
and
apart?
straight, best spins him. He starts just pulling planks out, and the guy jumps at him to kill him, and a plank hits him in the chest and knocks him down. And another one comes across and like hits him in the face, knocks him out. And he's just
brutal.
and he literally takes the bridge out from under him, holds him in the air with the force, and just pelts him. He doesn't even have his lightsaber. It's from the view of the Jedi. He looks up all bloody, and he says, dude, Vader, his lightsaber's on his hilt. He's standing there with his arms across, just killing me with his thoughts.
That's the coolest thing to picture in my mind, is him, because you know how strong you have to be to use those kind of force powers anyways.
Yeah.
You see Kylo in 7, and he spins around and puts his hand out to block Poe Dameron's shot. So to just think
One
of Vader
shot.
with like his fucking hands in his pockets and like there's people just getting choked and
Yeah.
like flying the fuck around.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
crazy.
Well, yeah,
That's crazy.
just like you said, look at Kylo, and I understand a lot of people think he's a bitch, but you can see the effort that he puts in, turning around, catching it, and holding it there, and that was one shot. Vader in this book, he walks in, 3 people shoot, and he just holds his hand out as he whips out his lightsaber and attacks people. So he's doing everything with his offhand and just fuck people up with his. Oh my god!
That reminds me of something really quick.
I can't.
Do you remember the original Clone Wars cartoon?
Yeah.
By the guy that did Dexter's Lab. I saw a GIF of it today. Actually, Stupendous Wave is one that shared it. It's the one where Mace Windu is fighting that entire battle droid army. There's one shot where he's doing, before he whips his lightsaber out, he's doing hand-to-hand combat against the battle droids.
I
Just
remember
fucking them up. And he turns to his right and like hits one, and then with the force, his lightsaber comes off of his belt and kills a battle droid behind him, and then he spins around and grabs it.
Yeah,
One of the coolest freaking things I've ever seen, man.
that's actually
And that's
so.
that force stuff that like we need to see that.
In that exact episode, behind them is a World Devastator.
Yeah.
The Stamper. But
Yeah.
the World Devastators that I was talking about in the future use lasers, and it just decimates. It doesn't
the
just
same
crush;
concept,
it just
okay.
fucking decimates.
Yeah.
Well, I think the laser hits the ground and it goes out, and it's like
More
level
like a
shit.
nuclear blast or something.
Yeah, 'cause
as
that level
opposed to
shit.
like the tremor.
stamp. Yeah. Another thing about Vader.
I got one more thing too.
So when he gets sent to Alderaan and Bail Organa is there, meets Vader, they all get pissed. The refugee Jedi are trying to get the fuck out of there.
He's sent there for what?
to
Kill
find
more
the-
Jedi?
He's actually okay. Thank you for saying that. He's there to kill Pax Fan. It's a senator. It's a senator or something.
Reef Pax?
Reef Pax. Yeah. He's there to kill a senator that's for the rebellion. Sidious has been looking for this guy. He's been causing trouble. So he's
Yeah.
like, Vader, just go take care of him. And actually, he told Vader to capture him so Sidious could use him later. The Jedi that Vader's hunting down
Yes.
team up with this guy, get him out of there. They get on. There's like a whole parade going on, and it's causing all sorts of trouble. And Vader can't really like focus because there's so much chaos going on. The refugee Jedi team up with the senator that Vader's hunting, jump into this like transport, and they're flying away to get off world. And Vader somehow turns around and they pass him. And Vader, it's from the point of view of the Jedi, and he looks down and he sees Vader throw his lightsaber, and he's like, "Ha ha!" He just threw his lightsaber. He gave up, and then he looks down and the lightsaber starts swinging towards him. He's like, "Dude, this dude is still trying to kill us, even though he lost."
Yeah.
And being a Jedi Master, he reaches out with the Force to stop the lightsaber. But he's like, "Impossible." He said, "I can't budge it. There's no way." He said either there's a lack of the Force because of all these Jedi have died, or maybe he's just negating everything around. He's just sucking the Force for his will and just doing it. And it ends up, they're like a fucking mile away, and he kills the dude with his lightsaber throw.
So he just like throws it from miles.
He just throws it straight, and then like
Force
mid-flight,
kinda, like,
it
directs
just starts
it.
spinning,
Yeah.
and it goes towards the transport that they're on, and it goes like inside the opening and cuts this dude in half and slices another guy, and then he calls it back. There's a Jedi Master standing there saying, "That's my lightsaber's mine." Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, he's dead. Fuck.
Dude. You can't stop. You can't stop. That was weird.
So yeah, that's why do you think I like that book so much? Because I get to see so much fucking rage.
All right. I want to talk about one more thing with Vader.
All right.
Not necessarily one more thing. We're probably going to talk about 18 things after this. Rebel scum in the chat room. We were talking about the lightsaber crystals earlier, how the red crystals, they pretty much have to steal and kind of bend it to their will. That's why it turns red. So Rebel scum in the chat room said, so Anakin's would have turned red. Wait, graph flex? I don't even know what the fuck he said. I got the gist of it, but the way he said it was confusing. After Mustafar, he would have been forced to use a crystal that he didn't find himself in his red saber. Because when he gets his limbs cut off and drops his blue one, Obi-Wan picks it up. So what I'm wondering, and this would be ripe for like a little comic book storyline, once he gets his suit on, how does he get his next lightsaber?
He built it.
He builds it the same way, but now with this new little canon thing about the crystal, how does he find a crystal?
I'm sure Sidious has plenty of crystals.
Well, that's a little too easy, though. What I'm thinking is it would be cool to have a story of Sidious puts him through a trial. Now that you have your suit on, you need a lightsaber. I'm not going to give you one. You need to go out and fucking find one. So he has to go out and, without using a lightsaber at all, kill a Jedi and take his or something like that.
He picked one. He picked up 1,000 lightsabers up from the Jedi Temple when he walked in and he was crying like a baby back Jedi.
He didn't take any of them. I know he didn't take any of them.
Yeah.
You have your lightsaber. That's like your thing, you know? You build it. It's
Not
the
for a
weapon
Sith,
is your
clearly.
life.
Not for a Sith, clearly.
But he wasn't a Sith then. But I'm saying he doesn't have one. I think that would be a badass like little comic book series. Or web series.
Yeah.
Or something.
Spaceballs the lightsaber! And then he just purchases one off from
But
Yogurt.
no, like Sidious is like, I have a couple lightsabers. You can't have them. Go kill a Jedi. Make sure you're still worthy to me. I'm not wasting my time. And then you can have their lightsaber. And then it will gradually turn red under your control.
Under your hatred.
Yep.
Poor Vader.
Vader.
He's such a complex character.
He's
and
the
in
one,
the
man.
movies,
He's the one.
he's still amazing in the movies, and they don't show shit. That's why it's
one of my
difficult.
biggest grievances.
Oh yeah, that's why it's like I get to see, or at least read Bane and Revan and see how they do stuff and get inside their head.
Like there is no version of them not doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like Revan's always, his story is always there. Vader's is, we see an old dude in a suit in the original trilogy, and then we get the backstory that he's the strongest thing that's ever lived.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Such a big disconnect there, which is really frustrating. That's why it's cool to see him in Rebels. I mean,
and talk Vader.
he
shit
really
to people.
should just put his hand out and everyone should die. But I'd rather see him in a show than not see him in a show. I'll say that. I just hope he doesn't bitch out in Rebels or in Rogue One. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, there's still talks of we're supposed to be see him in all of his violence and glory. So
Bring it on. I'm ready.
they can't show too much. It's not rated R.
It is PG-13 though,
They-
and so is Force Awakens. So ever since Episode 3 came out, all the new Star Wars movies have been PG-13.
They should make rated R ones. Just saying.
They really should. We talked about that petition to make a Knights of the Old Republic, or not Knights of the Old Republic, the Old Republic series on Netflix. There's actually a whole Facebook page and like a whole movement. They've been making trailers and shit. I'm on board with that. And that's the exact scenario where they can make it dark, brutal, actually rated R, or it's Netflix, so rated whatever the fuck they want.
Rated Netflix.
That'd be awesome.
So, side note, if
It'd be so awesome.
you're listening and you don't play or know anything about Star Wars, The Old Republic,
Yes.
SWOTOR,
Yeah.
regardless if you play it or don't know anything about it or have never heard of it, go online and look up the trailers. Every fucking trailer is a mini movie, and they're just fucking amazing. They do it so well. Everything's so brutal. It's a full story. The most recent one was like a mini movie.
It was a little short.
You get to see stuff that Jedi have never done. Like the mother who fights fist to fist. She's fighting Sith or evil guys. They all have lightsabers. She's going fist at them. And then when she needs it, she ignites her lightsaber, kills a dude, and then pulls it back in, and she starts flipping around again. You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
So epic.
But it's cool, because we've never seen that before. Please just do something. First of all, just go on YouTube and look up SWOTOR.
Yeah, there have been many over the past, since the game's been out. 5-6 years, whatever it is.
Why is it called Star Wars
The Old Republic.
The Old Republic, but it's SWTOR?
Yeah, we just
Star Wars The Old Republic.
to say the acronym, we just
SWOTOR.
add that. SWOTOR.
Yeah.
SWOTOR.
Yeah, definitely go online, YouTube, search that stuff up. Yeah,
Vader Squad Pod.
it's been a dude.
I'm excited to
way-
keep reading those comics, man.
There is spoiler. There's audiobooks on YouTube. They are sped up a little bit for copyright reasons, but it helps you get through the book quicker as long as you can just pay attention.
Yeah.
That's how it was 5 hours for that book. Just powered through it real quick. It was so good. But the part that I
ridiculous.
wanted to hear, which maybe it was in a different book, was when he chokes Tarkin from across the galaxy. Maybe it was a different book because I paid a lot of attention to it, but who knows?
It's exciting. Last thing, we talked a little bit about last episode where I was bored of Dark Disciple. We got the Force Awakens novel instead. I've been reading through that. Here it is on Twitch. You guys, it's the fucking movie cover. You know what it looks like. It's really well written, and being a big fan of episode 7, it's cool to see more in depth of the characters, what they're thinking when these scenes are happening. I mean, as we're reading through, I'm picturing what's going on the screen. So it's cool to get inside the head. I'm 100 pages in, and what happened was Finn and Rey just got off of Jakku in the Falcon.
Okay.
So that's pretty much where I am. There's a little bit of romantic thoughts going on with Finn when he sees Rey. Like after they go through all that and they finally escape and they're in the clear, and he like stands up and they're chatting inside the Falcon. Like it's from his perspective, and he has a little bit of, like attraction to Rey, which I never really like thought, but
Yeah, obviously.
kind
You have
of.
a boyfriend? Have you a cool boyfriend? Is he
Well,
around?
he says that at first, like the very first time that he I don't know. I never thought that it didn't seem like Han and Leia do in episode
how they
5.
fight and punch each other in the head.
I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I didn't get that 100% in the movie, but I do in the book. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's flipping awesome. Everyone is terrified of Kylo Ren. Every single one in the First Order is terrified of Kylo Ren.
I mean, he's like the strongest dude that's running around killing people. And it's the first.
Well, it's
he's the
not-
leader of the First Order, like from
He's
what
not
you
the
can
leader,
see.
though.
I know.
That's why people are scared of him, because he's unstable. Like Hux is the leader. Well, besides Snoke, but Hux is the leader. But Snoke put this guy in there with them, and because he's a Force user, and they don't even really know the Force, so
That's what
he's
I'm
just
saying.
like he's this unstable beast, and he's just running around and like getting involved in all of their like goings on, and everyone's like, this guy's kind of fucking up our plans, but he has a mask on. Like they're all scared of the mask. They're terrified because they have no idea what he's thinking or like feeling about anything. It's incredible, man.
Side note.
He's
Let's get back to Vader standing there on Kashyyyk, stabbing the shit out of it with his mind.
out of Kashyyyk.
Yeah. And the Jedi Masters looks up and looks at him as he's getting pelted, and he sees him with his arms crossed, and he just looks into those eyes, but he's just like, dude, it's a faceless face. You can't feel like him like feeding off the anger.
Yeah.
You can't see him mad. He's
Yeah.
just melancholy, just probably gonna die. Like, is he even looking at him? He's probably just like, man, I could really go for a burger, but I can't feel my lips because they burned off. So
Got no
Shit.
taste buds.
But that's, yeah, it's kind of just that. And you know how, if you just actually look at Vader's mask, it's dead, emotionless.
Right.
It's like a skull. You're looking into nothing. And a lot of people look at Kylo and everyone thinks fear. And while Vader has like the mad eyebrow thing going on his mask, it's just faceless. It's just you're dead. And the mistake that I did at the beginning of the book when people find out that Vader is a thing, from the Jedi point of view, they're like, is that like a new Stormtrooper. They ask, is that a new clone trooper?
Yeah.
They thought it was like a special shock trooper or something.
With a cape?
Yeah, and then he whips out a lightsaber and kills the master.
Nope, never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah. And they even they said, oh, you're the one that talked Palpatine in going to evil. You're the Sith Lord controlling everything. So they even get that shit wrong. Because people don't know Sidious is, they're just...
He's a chancellor.
Yeah, but
He's trying to do what's
they
right.
think the Sith Lord Vader, once they figure that out,
Right, yeah. They
is
just
controlling Sidious.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you have no idea. Stop.
Dead.
And the Padawan, when he's looking down, like defending, and she gets mad, she said something about, like, recently we saw you at the Jedi Archives. How could you defile the Jedi Temple like that? And he looks down, he's like, you have no idea what I've, like, done to the Jedi Temple. Don't fucking talk. And it's like, from his point of view, is so true. I murdered people younger than you in there. Don't talk about defiling now.
Anakin's pissed.
Dude, it's just rage.
I love it.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody.
Please go on to Instagram, Facebook, all of it, Twitter as well, at Rogue Squad Pod.
Indeed.
We are a part.
We are part of the Star Wars Commonwealth, along with Talking Star Wars, Generation X-Wing, and the Tumbling Sabers podcast. Bunch of Star Wars podcasters banding together. Star Wars hashtag SW Commonwealth and hashtag SWC Pod on Twitter. And you can find all of our shows and anything that we're getting involved in. Also, the artist features that we've been doing. Last week was Venomous. Off to a great start. All of his work is incredible. I hope you guys saw it and enjoyed it on our social media.
Even if you don't catch it while you're listening,
yeah, I mean, it's
just go
up
back.
there,
It'll
so-
still be up there.
Yeah, just filter
Venomous
through.
is an amazing artist. So,
And for all of the features that we're going to be doing, if you're listening to this way after the fact, just hashtag Art Squad Pod. It's our inside joke. Everything is just Vader Squad Pod, Beer Squad Pod. So just search that up and you'll see all the features. This week is Chris Sparks, who we had on episode 78, Sparks Electric Tattooing. So we'll be showing a bunch of his tattoo work, which is mostly Star Wars related and is absolutely brilliant. And he'll be tattooing at Celebration Orlando, which is in April.
here,
so,
and not after too long.
and he'll be
but
back on the show.
We've got
Yeah.
quite a few guests lined up, so stay
Indeed.
tuned. If you want to know who those guests are, just follow us on Facebook and all that shit, and we're going to be letting you guys know when to
Indeed.
listen.
Indeed.
So,
Until next time.
hashtag Vader is a boss. Don't piss him off. 2x4 to the face.
I was waiting for you to say, I am Mopar. I'm Commander. Doesn't matter. They heard us at the beginning. So I was just waiting for. Thanks, everybody. We love you. Rebel scum.
I didn't see anything from Rebel Scum. Everything's missing.
Whoa, that's so weird. That's so weird. Rebel scum. He's got stealth, obviously. He's a Bothan.
Scum.
I don't see what I just typed in. It's not showing up. Oh, man. I think I'm going to name this episode Reef Packs. Shit.
Shit packs, brief.
If you're still watching, I'm turning this off.